Yes, you. Welcome to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast, a podcast for people who want to disrupt their lives for a good reason, to make it count. I'm your host, Jen Glantz, and every week I'll drop a new episode with stories from real people just like you, who woke up one morning and decided to make big changes, starting with small things. We'll cover topics like entrepreneurship, love, failure, and self-care. Hey, you're not getting any younger, so let's make this an adventure. Ready? Hey, any youngers. It's me, Jen Glantz. Okay, this episode is all about giving up on yourself. I feel like one of the major trends of this year for me was really just losing out on so much because of the thoughts inside of my head and the things that I convinced myself of, which sometimes were true, but sometimes were just things that I made up and I carried on and on and on. I feel like I got a ton of social anxiety this year because I told myself, if I walk into this room, these people don't like me, these people don't want me to be here, I don't belong here. I told myself so many versions of that story that I literally found myself walking into parties, sitting in the corner, talking to nobody, making eye contact with my phone or the floor or the window or the ceiling, and that's not me, that's not who I am, but I gave in to these nasty thoughts. I left a workout class yesterday, and I felt this long list of horrible things about myself. I took a couple of weeks off of working out because I was just so busy, and I'd rather use that time to nap or to catch up with friends or to just sit there and watch like a brainless TV show because I just feel like I have so much on my plate, and it was a lot to then drag myself to the gym. And I ended up going the other day, and I felt so gross about myself. Like my body was like, what are you doing here? You also don't belong here. And I found myself out of breath within minutes of lifting these little 8-pound weights. I shouldn't say little because 8 pounds is a lot, but I felt really down about myself. I felt like maybe I should just stop working out completely. But for some reason, I went to the gym today, and when I was there, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like I belong here. My body hates me. I'm not happy with how I look, but I'm going to get through the class. So I got through the class. I lifted the weights. I did the burpees. I did the push-ups. I did everything everyone else was doing. And halfway through the class, the instructor comes over to me and lowers his microphone so that nobody in the class can hear him. And I'm thinking to myself, this is when he tells me how awful I am. This is when he tells me how out of shape I am. And I really just don't need to hear this. And he comes close and he goes, wow, you're so strong. And I seriously had one of the weights fall out of my hand, and I clenched the other one so hard in just sheer confusion because I thought I was living in an alternate reality. He said that I was strong. I felt like I was the weakest person there. And he said to me, no, you're not. You're really strong. I'm telling you this on this episode not to brag about someone calling me strong for the first time in my entire life at a workout class, but because all of us, seriously all of us, give up on ourselves far too fast. We try something and then we fail and we worry about trying again. We ping pong mean thoughts in our brain and we box ourselves up and refuse to give in to progress, to see change, to try to take those small steps toward the really big things. To remember that right now we might be something, we might be someone, but it doesn't matter that tomorrow when we wake up, we might be somebody completely different. What I'm trying to say is don't give up on you. There are so many people in this world who are going to try to make you give up, who are going to try to say things about you, and that's going to corrupt the things you say about yourself. But the only thing that you can control is what you say to yourself. And I remind myself when I'm in uncomfortable and awkward situations that I'm the one controlling the narrative here. I'm the one controlling my thoughts and my feelings and my attitude. And that's a lot of power to have. It's a lot of power to have, especially when you want to change. Okay, so how exactly do we go about changing the things that we think about ourselves and how we treat ourselves in those uncomfortable situations when we're feeling super down about who we are? The very first thing that I've started trying is making a list of 25 things that I am so proud of. These are things I've accomplished. These are skills that I have. These are things that I am really, really proud of. It was a really hard list to make because when is the last time somebody asked you to rattle off all of the amazing things about you? Chances are it was a first date or a job interview and it wasn't the truth, or it was just plain old awkward. But having a list like that you carry around with you, you put it in your backpack, your pocket, your wallet, maybe you just hang it above your mirror, having those positive things about you helps you change the way you think about yourself. The second thing I've tried to do, and I've failed, but I have tried again with this, is to try to be in the moment. When I find myself feeling like I don't belong, or I'm upset with how I look or how I feel, I try to really just block out all of the negative thoughts I've had in the past, all of the stories I tell myself about the people in the room and how they feel about me, and I try to just be in the moment. What can I do right now in the next 10 seconds to change these thoughts and change my behavior? And sometimes, I'll tell you the truth, that means hiding in the bathroom for a minute or two, or that means going outside for a walk, or that means just doing something to take my mind off of feeling so weird and so crappy about myself. Those are just two things to try. You got to be realistic in the sense that this is a change that might not happen overnight. I'm still working hard on it. I still have my bad days. I still make my mistakes, but I'm seeing progress and how quick I'm changing these thoughts. So how they used to go from me feeling really bad about myself for hours or days to now it being 5, 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes, okay? Maybe 30 minutes. We're at the end of the year. This is the time when all we're doing is thinking about the changes we want to make in 2019. And my list of changes, it is so long. It is so freaking long and embarrassing. But I'm going to start now. And I'm going to start by not giving up. And by being a little bit nicer with the things that I tell myself. Maybe you can do the same. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you love what you hear, and I hope that you do, it means the world if you could leave us a rating and review on iTunes. We have close to 95-star reviews, and your review just means the world. It helps us share the show, get it out to more people, get more people to click play. And we also have a secret Facebook group called You're Not Getting Any Younger. Come check us out. I'd love to have you there. Until next week, Jen Glantz. Hey you! Thank you for listening to the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast. There are hundreds of thousands of pods out there, so thank you for listening to this one. You can find the show notes for this week's episode up on our website, anyyounger.com. Subscribe, rate, and review the You're Not Getting Any Younger podcast on iTunes so that other ears around the world can listen too. And join our secret You're Not Getting Any Younger Facebook group, where over 1,000 people are talking about how to disrupt their lives, for a good reason, to make it count. Until next week, all my love, Jen Glantz.